A wild wolf and a mechanical quadruped robot navigate the exact same rocky terrain. Both process external data and adjust their footing to avoid obstacles. A gap eventually appears between them. The robot executes a series of logic gates to arrive at a programmed output. The wolf adds an invisible dimension to the equation. It strives. It actively pushes back against the environment to guarantee its own continuation. Standard biological definitions rely on checklists: metabolism, reproduction, or response to stimuli. These traits are easily mimicked. A forest fire metabolizes fuel and reproduces. A modern machine reacts to complex stimuli. We identify life by recognizing unpredictable, non-random changes in physical form. We perceive the organism making choices that the laws of physics and chemistry do not strictly dictate. Life functions through an internal, subjective ledger. The organism is tallying costs and benefits to determine its next movement. Identifying the distinction between living entities and dead matter requires looking for the universe's first economic actor. An organism is a private information classifier. The system merges public sensory signals, light, sound, and chemicals, with its own private physical configuration. The arrangement of its cells and nerves acts as a filter that only the organism can access. This internal organization is unique to the organism's specific coordinates in space and time. External observers can approximate its actions, but only the organism can perfectly predict its own outputs at the moment they emerge. The organism translates objective data into subjective meaning. It processes the environment by asking, "What does this mean for my survival?" We often assume the brain registers a stimulus, pauses to compute a decision, and then signals a reaction. Registration and adjustment happen simultaneously. The registration of information is the adjustment. Knowing and doing form a single closed loop dedicated to self-preservation. This closed loop creates a survival problem. When an organism secures energy, it must identify exactly what part of the world is eligible to receive that energy. Without a method of internal accounting, the organism might consume its own limb for fuel during a shortage. It needs to separate its own assets from harvestable resources. The system establishes a self-boundary, a line between the organism and the universe. This border serves as the minimum biological bookkeeping required. It captures benefits, routing energy inward to maintain organization, while marking external matter as a resource. This line represents life's original claim against the inertia of entropy. Without this border, an organism cannot capture value. Selfhood begins as a requirement for economic accounting. The self-boundary divides a uniform, objective universe into two subjective halves, this and not this. Passive life maintains this boundary without moving to change its environment. A tree or a sessile invertebrate selects internal states based on whatever resources the environment delivers. Agency appears when an organism uses its boundary to rearrange the non-self world. An animal moves through space to seek out a different menu of choices, paying a high energetic cost for the chance at a higher payoff. This division between subject and object is the foundation of human thought. Language inherited the same economic requirement of distinguishing the self from the environment. The universal rule of syntax, subjects acting upon objects, reflects this original biological boundary. To speak is to reenact the act of drawing a line between the agent and the world. Life represents the moment chemistry bowed to scarcity, established a boundary, and became the universe's first economic actor.